Okay guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Queen V here. Okay. I know that I've posted a lot today because it's something new and not that I plan on not doing it anymore, but I'm going to really try to keep up with it. But because it's something new and it's a getting to know me little series type thing, I'm thinking about some random shit that I can share with you and some stories that are kind of cool. I would say today's topic, but this is my third video. But the topic that I want to discuss now is something else that's happened recently in my life that was so amazing. And I will probably get a little bit sentimental about it because it was just that amazing. So I've mentioned a bunch of times I just turned 50. Uh, I have two siblings. Well, I actually have a bunch of siblings, but I have two siblings that I have been separated from my entire life. Just a little backstory. My mom, I'm the youngest of, let's see, my father had three other kids. My mom had two other kids. I really had no relationship with any of them. My dad passed away when I was 11. I lived with him most of my life, my 11 years. And when he passed away, I no longer got to talk to my siblings on my dad's side. I was actually pretty close with my oldest brother. My other two siblings on my dad's side, I saw the middle one, my other brother, but my sister I had only met once, I think only once or twice. And so we never formed a bond. Well, when my dad passed away, I never, unfortunately, I was so young, I didn't have my own phone. I wound up finding my oldest brother when I was in my 20s, and then lost contact again with him, and I haven't found him since. So, hey, maybe YouTube can do what it does, and I can find those siblings. But anyways, on to the other ones. My sister and my brother on my mom's side, I met my brother twice in the past, when I was 15 and when I was 16. My mom wasn't the most maternal, to say the least. And she basically abandoned them when they were very, very young. I want to say 2 and 3 years old, something like that. And she did the same. She wound up leaving. She got with my dad, had me. It's like a whole pattern. I got left with my dad. My dad passed away again, 11, so I had to go move with my mother. And it was not a very good upbringing, not a very good childhood. Sorry. Anyway, guess you're okay. I didn't expect to get sad at this part. This wasn't, not even sad, but emotional. This isn't the part I was planning on getting emotional. Anyway, my mother got back in contact with my siblings when I was a teenager. I got to meet my brother for the first time at 15, and it was him, his wife, and his oldest daughter, and she was pregnant with their second child. I went again after the second baby was born. I don't want to put names out there, but and got to see him again when I was 16. Well, then I didn't get to meet my sister because she wasn't in the area, and I just don't think she really was ready to really deal with our mother again. My mother was a heavy drinker, and when she would drink, she was very bipolar, and she would go through all the seasons of emotions when she would drink. She would be happy one minute, crying the next, screaming, mad, back to laughing. Like, you never knew what you were going to get. You never knew what to deal with. And yeah, wow. Talking about this is... Anyway, yeah. So my siblings that never had to experience that growing up, they were dealing with it from a person that left and then was trying to show back up into their life and then mix it with drinking, and to have all these emotions come out. And she would get belligerent and I'm not even going to go into the full gamut of it, but obviously it messed up the relationship, which in turn messed it up for me. Because I was just a teenager, I didn't have my own phone, and they cut her off, and unfortunately, I did too, because they had no way of just contacting me. So fast forward to about, I want to say 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years, 4 years ago, I had moved into a new apartment, and I've always done this. I run into, when I'm unpacking, I would find photo albums, and I've had pictures of my brother and his wife and kids and in the photo albums. And every time I do, I'd be like, you know what? Let me see if I can look them up. Let me see if I can find them. In the past, I never found him. My brother was in the Secret Service, so you're not going to find him. And their last name is Italian, and I don't know if I was misspelling it or what, but this particular day, I was able to find them. And I got so excited. I remember telling my daughter, or like just yelling out, I was like, oh my God, I found him. And I don't really want to tell the way I found him, but it really doesn't matter. The way I found him probably wasn't the best way, but I did not care. It didn't matter to me. All I knew was I found my brother and sister. I hate that I get so emotional. Tell the story, Victoria. Tell the freaking story. Okay. Collecting. I somehow, the very first number, I found a whole bunch of numbers with my sister's name in it. The very first number I found or called was her, and she answered the phone. And I said her name, and she said, yes. And I said her first and last name. She was like, yes. And she was like, I was like, oh, wow, this is Victoria. And she said, Victoria, like my whole name. I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, wow. Hi, how are you? I knew this day was coming. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And I was like a happy little puppy. And I was just like, oh my God, I found my brother and sister. And I forgot that it was a lot on her to hear. So I'm over here ecstatic because I found them finally. she asked me, how's Carol? That's her mother's name. I said, she passed away in 2005. And she was just like, oh. And I remember her telling me that they had been looking for me too. And that she was just pulling up to dinner. She was meeting friends for dinner. And she was like, listen, let me give you a call back. Because I'm, meeting friends. I said, yeah, sure. Get off the phone, and I'm super excited. She sent me a picture, and the very first picture was funny. She was in a nun's habit, and I was like, oh wow, that's cool. My sister's a nun. And then she's cracking up laughing because she was like, that was a Halloween costume. I was like, oh, I mean, like, it doesn't matter to me. Literally, I don't care who you are, what you look like. I was so excited in that minute that I found my brother and sister. I've always had a huge hole, I felt, most of my life growing up, having all these siblings and having no relationship. And then I remember a couple days went by and I didn't hear from her. And my heart sunk. So it's like, oh no, was it too much? Did I give her too much information? Is it like, I remember talking to one of my best friends and told her the situation. She said, just give her a few days. It was probably a lot to take in. And I said, yeah, you're right. That was a whole lot. I'm gonna give her a few days. So, this is getting kind of long. I think I'm gonna do a part 2. What do you guys think? I'm gonna do a part 2 because this story is so amazing. Thank you for listening. See you soon.